Welcome back, family. Thanks for tuning in. So, I had an email request that was kind of interesting, and a lady wanted to know at what age do men find women undesirable? The age of the woman. At what age do men find women undesirable? She said that a man in his mid 50s told her that women 50 and over are less desirable. And she said that a month later, he came back and said mentally it's what made them undesirable. And then sometimes physically, their body would be undesirable. So she wanted to know my thoughts as far as maybe if that was true or not, or what age, if there was an age. Let me let me come at this one a certain way. Most of the time we find people in our age demographic, at least mentally, we're going to see them on the same level as we are. So I'm 48 years old, and the age group that I grew up in, those that graduated or grew up around the 80s and the 90s, I'm going to relate more to those type of people, male or female, because we all come from the same, even though we might have all been in different cities and places, we all have a same baseline understanding of what life was like at that time, the struggles, what it takes. We didn't have families, kids, so on and so forth. All right, I'm 48. Now, for me to say at 48 that 42 or 43-year-old women are not attractive to me anymore because of their mentality and their body, and I'm older than the one that I'm talking about, it really sends a message. And the message that it really sends is a couple of things going on. So just work with me here. First of all, let me do this. This is me personally. I know women who are in their 50s. I'm just going mental. I ain't even doing physical. I know women who are in their 50s, and their mindset as far as life and maturity and relationships and business and money and family, their mindset is exactly what a man would want it to be. I'm not saying that I would date them or anything like that. I'm just saying the women that I know that are in their 50s, they have a solid mindset. Their mindset is what you want it to be. There is mentally now, there is no way that I would choose mentally a 30-year-old woman mentally over a 50 or 55-year-old woman in comparison to how they think, and I'm 48 years old. Let alone if I was in my mid 50s. So you got to assume this individual is probably at least eight years older than me, talking like that. There is no way that you can compare the mentality of a 50-year-old woman to a 30-year-old woman, and the man is in his 50s. Let's just get that out the way. So that tells me that the individual that was doing the talking, this man, is more and likely attracted to younger women. That's why he went. Look at how he put it. He put mentally first, and then a month later came back and said, and sometimes their bodies too. But he was focused on the mental part. Okay, now let's do this. Most men will say, well, okay, if they had to choose, And it don't matter the age. If a man is 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, if a man had to choose the perfect type of body type just sexually he would want, let's just say a man 40 and up, if he had to choose of course we're going to go probably lean to a 30-year-old, someone that she ain't had three or four, probably ain't had 3 or 4 kids yet, blah blah. Because we all getting older, we all heavy. It's just a part of life. But if we had to choose, I think everybody can understand what I'm trying to say. If we had to draw it up, if we sat down with an artiste and he drew it up the way we like it, it would probably have the body type of a 30 to 35-year-old woman physically. And some men would probably go all the way down, 25 if they could really pick. Physically, that's what we would pick. But none of us would say mentally we want a 30-year-old woman because of how she thinks mentally. In this modern day and age, none of us would say that. So it tells me a sign that this man who made that remark is dealing with some insecurities where he's not attracted to the women in his own age demographic, probably because, and I'm going to give you a reason why here, when you dealing with a woman that's 50 years old and up mentally, when you dealing with her in terms of a relationship, that woman is going to ask, and even 40 and up, that woman is going to ask you certain type of questions that a younger woman has not been around long enough to even know to ask. By the time a woman is 50 years old, there's a good chance she has a 30-year-old son or daughter, 25-year-old son or daughter, 20-something-year-old child. This woman has lived life. She's probably been married at least once or has some type of long-term relationship. She understands love, commitment, no commitment, business, money, having a lot of money, having no money, career decisions, making the right choices. She has lived half of a century. The way that she approaches men, the way that she vets out men, she's going to understand the vetting process and know the questions to ask. That if you're dealing with an insecure man, he's going to be intimidated by those type of questions, by how she presents herself. A woman in her 50s wants to know, are you established in whatever you're doing? It ain't even so much about, are you a millionaire, or do you have $100,000 in the bank, or do you have $50,000 in the bank. She wants to know that in your mind and in your lifestyle, before you try to bring her into it, are you established in what you're doing? Do you have goals? Do you have vision? Do you present yourself as a leader? Are you stable? That's what she's looking for, because she understands the next phase of my life. I ain't got time to be playing around. In other words, her toleration level for the bourgeois, just focus on the BS part. That's, yeah, on my channel. We don't do a whole lot of cussing here. Her toleration level for the bourgeois is gonna be way lower in terms of what she's going to tolerate than a woman that's 25, 30, 35 years old, because she understands the season of her life. I don't have time to play around. According to the number of men, according to the book, 73, 75 years old, some old, obviously some younger. But she know at 50 years old, I got 25 years left just on average, right? I got 25 years left. I don't have time to be playing around with a little boy. I don't have time to be raising somebody else's son. I done raised 3 boys of my own. I'm done. Now, if this man who made that comment is insecure within himself, he's going to be intimidated by those type of questions, and he's going to find women that are his age very unattractive, and that's why he would make that kind of statement. He finds them unattractive because they hold him accountable and they're not going to tolerate his nonsense. That's why he would ask them. Number 2, I'm going to let you go. If the lady that sent the email is in her 40s, and the man made this comment to her, then she has to ask herself, if I'm in my 40s, I'm getting closer to the point that he said he's not attractive to. So you got to pay attention to that. Miss Lady, pay attention now. If he's not attractive to 50-year-old women mentally and sometimes physically, and you mid 40s going towards 50, that means you yourself is on a timeline. If he's not attracted to 50, he ain't attracted really too much to mid 40s either. But he ain't gonna tell you that. But just know that you on a timeline of which there's gonna come a point he not going to be attracted to you either. So I would proceed very cautiously in how I deal with this man. I would not start a relationship with this man if I were you, and he already told you that within a few years you're going to be in an age bracket that I do not like, I do not find attractive, and I don't like the way they think. You're setting yourself up for frustration. He's telling you right now. It's coded. I like to use that word a lot. It's coded. When he tells you I'm not attracted to 50-year-old women because of their mentality, that's a code right there. And this man is in his mid 50s. He's sending you a message. Morse code. He's sending you a message. I like younger women. I'm not able to get one, and I'm too insecure for one my age. But I'm telling you now, you're a couple years away from being close to the age bracket that I do not find attractive, and you're going to fit right in that group. Young lady, I would run from this man if I was you. Got it? Good.